Bum, 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 bum. Welcome back, my friend, to BjjBrick. Quick. This is your quick Jiu-Jitsu podcast. My name is Byron. We're talking about the 10,000 hour myth. What it takes to be world class at something. What's it take? Is it 10,000 hours? If you've missed the previous episodes this week, go back and check them out. It'll make a little more sense, I would hope. What is 10,000 hours, really? Well, if you train, what's a reasonable amount of time to train? I was thinking about this, like 5 hours a week. That's, I don't even know if that's a good calculation. Like, what is training? 5 hours of live sparring, rolling a week, that's a lot. Like, if you think about it, I'll be feeling like I did quite a good, job rolling if I did 30 minutes of class. I'm not going that many times a week to get 5 hours of jiu-jitsu, of rolling. Now, you include some techniques, some conversations. I don't know. I just thought 5 would be fair. We got to start somewhere. So 5 hours a week. It's going to take you 38 years to get 10,000 hours. How old are you now? Add 40 to that if you're new at jiu-jitsu. That's not how we're going to get good at jiu-jitsu. By just clumping on hour upon hour upon hour. It is about the quality of your jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying people can't do 5 hours a week for 38 years, 40 years. That's definitely possible. I have been training 20 years of jiu-jitsu. I don't know what my average per week is. I know I haven't rolled 5 hours on average a week. That's a lot of rolling. That's 5 days a week, hour rolling. That's a lot. So, where am I at? I don't keep track. It doesn't matter. How am I rolling? How am I doing when I'm paired up with somebody who's also a black belt? Who's got a really good daily Hiva game? How do I pair up with that? Maybe they're almost a exclusively top player. How do I pair up with that? Does my guard hold up? They're one of our competitors. Can I give them a hard time? Can I catch them? So what does 10,000 hours of training show? It shows a lot of dedication. That's what it shows. So I think we're all, if you're trying to calculate how many hours you've been training, likely it's not 10,000 hours. But if you go to ADCC or Worlds, likely those guys don't have 10,000 hours of training either. They have really good training. And I know they train super hard. But they're also training with some of the best coaches out there. Their teammates are awesome at jiu-jitsu. They're pushing them. Their training, their 1 hour of training, probably better than my 2 weeks of training as far as like what I would learn in that hour would be phenomenal. I'm not trying to insult my training or anything. It's just the way it is. If you're taking jiu-jitsu super seriously, I do jiu-jitsu for fun. It is a blast. I enjoy it. I enjoy the problem-solving aspect of it. I enjoy the challenges. I enjoy getting tricked by somebody. There's a lot about jiu-jitsu that I enjoy. I don't concentrate on how many hours I've trained. I want to roll well, but I know that everybody who walks in through the door, I'm not going to be able to beat everybody. We have some really good grapplers at my gym. But if you're keeping track or you have an idea how long you've trained, it just shows dedication. I don't think of myself as needing to be super dedicated to this. I enjoy it. It's fun. Don't think of it as like, oh, I only have 9,000 more hours of this miserable activity to do before I'm good at it. Okay, both those are not true. It should be a fun activity, or you're never going to see the first 1,000 hours completed, and you'll be, once you hit 10,000 hours, you'll be you'll be well into your 40s at least. I don't know what to tell you. It's a silly matrix. It's a silly thing to keep track of. Keep track of getting better. Keep track of adding, what's your best technique? Can you make that better? Can you add another best technique right next to it that pairs with it well? How do you get caught? Are you getting caught in the same things? I got tapped a couple weeks ago from the guard. It was one of our black belts. And I was like, man, I haven't been tapped from the guard for a long time. And I play a lot of top game. I was like, man, that was sweet. And it was kind of a weird thing where my arm got a little away from my body, and he was all over that thing. And he's like, oh well. He didn't really think a big deal. I was like, man, that's sweet. I kind of forget I need to watch out for submissions from people's guards. I'm worried about getting swept, and I'm worried about passing. Anyways, I don't know how that came up. But that was that 5-minute roll was good training for me. Now, I'm not saying people can't tap me from their guard. I go to the wrong gym or the right gym, and everyone's tapping me from their guard. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Guys, it's not about the quantity of your training. It's quality. It's training smart. It's having a good time. You do have to do this for a while. You're not going to just be good at it. You can go train at the best gym in the world for 2 weeks. And if it's your first 2 weeks, it's going to be pretty similar to what you would have learned at your own gym. You got to get that foundation set up first. It's important. If you are setting that foundation up, you're new to jiu-jitsu, check out the audiobook, Your First Year of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's by me. It's 2.5 hours long. Go to BjjBrick.com and click on the shop. Go in there. It's $11.99. The money goes and helps support the podcast. Keep this thing going. It's the primary way the podcast goes forward. The Patreon, we have Patreon, but to be honest, it takes several months for one Patreon person to pay for themselves, because I send out a gi patch, a sticker, other stuff, there's posts, all this stuff. The book, boom, instantly goes supports the podcast. They both help. I'm not saying it doesn't help. Book is more short term, as I don't expect anybody to buy it twice. But you support the show. Hopefully it'll support you in your first year of grappling. If that's you, you don't need to keep track of your hours or even your classes attended. Keep track of what techniques you like, what's working for you, what you want to get good at in the future, where you're getting caught. Those are far more important. You'll get better. Hope you have a great day, my friend, and stay sweaty.